Elra Johnson is a retiree living in Waterloo. She is 100 years old. In this production, she tells of her experiences with racism in Mississippi. As a young woman, Ms. Johnson wanted to help people, so she became a nurse. She talks about racial segregation in the hospital where she worked. She also talks about her encounter with the Ku Klux Klan and how she survived it. Ms. Johnson also wanted to make a difference in society, so she became politically active and fought for civil rights in Mississippi. She was a member of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party and was involved in many of that organization's activities during the 1960s. In addition, she received an award for standing up for civil rights from the mayor of Shula, Mississippi, and she was honored by the NAACP in 1969 for her dedication and fearlessness. Her life experiences show that with strength and courage, a person can make a difference. Now tell me when and where you were born.
January 28, 1906.
So in Mississippi?
Mississippi with my mother and father.
Did you grow up on a farm?
Yeah.
You did?
Grew up on a farm. My daddy had a farm.
He had a farm?
Uh-huh.
What did you do on the farm in the way of work or chores?
Plowed.
Plowed?
Plowed a mule and and when I get to the end of the rope, I tie that end of the rope. Then I tie that mule to that post.
How much land did your father have?
Now, I think if I ain't making a mistake, he had 298 acres.
290 acres of land.
And acres of land.
Wow, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
If I ain't making a mistake.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what were you doing for fun on the farm growing up as a little girl?
I worked like the devil.
So there was no time for fun, no time for play.
No, wasn't no fun, and we had to work. Yes, we did.
So what exactly could you describe your father for me? What type of person he was?
My father was a tall, dark man with good hair.
With good hair, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so what did he try to instill in you as a little girl growing up? How did he influence you, your father?
He influenced me. He said, black girl, they called me black girl.
Okay.
He said, do the thing what's right and don't let nobody turn you around.
Let's talk a little bit about your business you started. You had a sewing business.
Sewing machine. I sold for the public.
You sold, okay.
And I can make anything a person wear.
Okay.
Make the coat, the pants, what they wear. And I don't have to have nothing but a machine.
And so then you would take what you learned and you'd become a seamstress. You would sew a lot of different clothes for people.
I sewed for everybody in the community and saw them out of the community.
Okay. So how much would you sell a shirt for?
Wouldn't sell a shirt for no more than about $1.
$1 for a shirt?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it had to be a nice one. Otherwise, I didn't get that much.
Okay. What about a pair of pants? How much would you sell a pair of pants for?
Well,
about what do you
Oh, it'll be about $1.50.
$1.50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you're a real good sewer. A lot of people were coming to you all the time.
All the time. I was, now here was me and Georgia Clark was the two seamsters amongst the colored race coming up in my time. And Georgia Clark lived in West. And she took care of West. And I took care of Bowling Green and Durant.
You went on to get a nursing certification.
I did. I got it.
What a nurse? What was it like? Being a nurse. Why did you want to be a nurse?
I wanted to take care of sick people. Okay. When somebody was sick, I always wanted to help somebody.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What hospital did you work at?
Durant. Durant Hospital.
You work at Durant Hospital?
Yeah.
Okay.
My name on record. You can call up there if you want to. Yeah.
And so you like helping people?
I do.
Yeah, you like helping people.
I love to help people. And me and a white girl, she was from West, and her name was Oh gosh, I can't think of her name now. But anyway, me and her worked together.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you worked in the same hospital together.
Yeah, and me and her worked together.
Do you remember working with any white patients or black patients in
I
the
worked
hospital?
with black patients.
Black patients only? Did you care for white patients in the hospital?
They didn't want to be with us, period.
So you could not care?
No, I didn't care.
Okay. All right.
And I used to take care of white people's babies while they go out and do their little thing.
Your involvement with the civil rights, because I know
I was the head.
you were the head. Let's talk about
Georgia Clark was right beside of me.
you guys worked together.
At the people's houses we was working.
Okay. All right. Okay.
We were supposed to go in their front door.
Wasn't this pretty much the conditions in the South during that time period where
Yes, sir.
where colored people had to go into the back door. They couldn't go to the front door. This really bothered you, didn't it? This
It did.
really bothered you.
And so I quit.
So you quit the job.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
I sure did.
And so it was this type of racism. Is this what
Let me
motivated
tell you?
you?
One thing.
Go ahead.
White folk give Negroes hell.
Okay.
I hate to say it like that.
Mhm.
But you couldn't come in their front door.
Mhm.
You couldn't eat out of their plates.
Okay.
And when they put dog food in his plate and let him eat, and then get that same plate and put up there for you to eat, and us walked out.
Okay.
So me and Georgia see them do it, and us walked out.
Okay.
And us didn't go back no more.
You would react to this. You would see things like this. You didn't like the discrimination,
Yes,
the
sir.
racism.
I get up anywhere in Mississippi
Right.
on it up to the what is it call it at the courthouse
Okay.
and tell everything I know on white folk what they did and wasn't scared
How do
because I had white folks standing behind me
Mhm.
and said if they don't want to say anything, it's goodbye to them.
Okay.
And me and Georgia Clark done it. It was broke that civil rights light, broke it down.
Okay.
Hmm.
How did you and Georgia Clark use the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party to get?
We wasn't
Civil rights.
scared of the devil.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Tell me about that organization you were part of. Do you remember the Freedom? The
Democrat Party?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Me and Georgia Clark. Georgia Clark lived in West,
Okay.
and I lived in Durant. And me and her decided how they treated our old parents in the front.
Okay.
And said, now, us ain't gonna let them do us like that.
Hmm.
And so me and her got out and protested.
And so you.
Us got by with it too. And that opened the door for the next fella behind me could come in.
Okay.
Hmm.
And so you used the Democratic Party as a way to fight for civil rights.
That's what us did.
Okay.
And us fit like the devil too.
Mhm.
They didn't want us in there, but us went on in there anyway.
Now.
And they would tell us, go around to the back door. I said, I will when I be going home.
Mhm.
And then when I come in there, come in the front door. They didn't want us to do that.
Uh-huh.
But the police and the law told us that don't never go in the fella's back, go in the front.
Okay. All right.
And us done what the police told us to do. And the police was out there watching to see that us do what us said.
Mm-hmm.
And us went right in that front door.
Oh.
And they didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And so they hopped up and moved to Memphis or somewhere. I don't know what they moved. They didn't come back no more.
Okay. All right. Tell me, can you talk about some of your political activity? What you were doing on the political scene as far as civil rights?
And they have laid on side the road to kill us, me and Georgia Clark. And us would go by there singing. But the white man was behind us. And they didn't, the one was going to do something to me and her. He was back behind us. And he'd look at us, go ahead.
When was this? And where was this?
In Durant.
This was in Durant. Where
Yeah.
were you guys coming from?
That's where I live, in Durant.
So you said that a white man was coming behind you.
Yeah.
And he was going to kill you.
Yeah, wanted to kill me and Georgia for getting on the street singing, "We'll overcome one day."
Okay, you were marching?
Marching.
Okay, you were marching. You and Georgia?
Me and Georgia Clark, and we tried to get some of the other people, black people. She said, "Now, I'm living on Mr. So-and-so place." And he said, "If I get out there in that march, I got to move." Me and her told him, "Forget it."
Okay.
But me and Georgia Clark done it.
Okay, I see. So, you guys started it. You started. You tried to get the support of other black people, but they would not follow you.
They said, "I'm living on the man's place," and that was in the Delta.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm living on the main place, and he said, "If I get out there, say I'm got to move."
So black people were trying to fight. They could not fight for the civil rights for fear that they would get kicked. They would get kicked off of their land.
Right now, you talking?
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Good. And so this shows a lot of courage, and strength, and fearlessness on you, on your behalf.
And Georgia Clark.
And
don't
Georgia
leave
Clark.
out.
I'm sorry. And
Don't
you and
leave her
Georgia
out.
Clark. Okay.
Yeah, me and her done it.
Okay. So it was you standing up, speaking against racism.
Yes, I was.
That would lead to you.
And they would ask us. See, the man who was, irritating us, he would ask us, "Well, do they let y'all come in their front door?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "No. They'll be sitting on the porch, and let's go around and come in, and then come back to the front porch."
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you went to Washington D.C., didn't you?
Yes, sir. The people got together.
Okay.
And got the money and sent me to Washington D.C. to talk. And what that head man in Washington was name?
It's Lyndon Johnson.
Johnson.
Right.
And us had to go there and talk with him. And they had a schoolhouse right here and a church right here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And us had to go there and tell them everything they asked us. We told them.
Okay.
And when us got back, some of them said they gonna do this and gonna do that, and they said they wrote it down on paper. Said if anybody put their hand on y'all, they got to go.
Okay. So you would go to D.C. and you would talk to the president and
President Kennedy. Kennedy.
Okay. So you spoke to Kennedy.
Yeah.
Okay. President Kennedy and Johnson.
Yeah. And Kennedy was for the black.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you liked Kennedy?
I liked him. He took up for black.
Mm-hmm. So he listened to you and other civil rights
Georgia
leaders.
Clark.
And Georgia Clark. He listened to you guys.
And Reverend Whitaker from Goodman.
Okay. So Reverend Whitaker
He was a Maine.
From your community, from Durant.
Yeah.
Okay. He came with you guys.
Yeah, Reverend Whitaker came with us.
Okay.
He was a big, tall dog man.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And he stood by us.
Okay.
But me and Georgia got out there by ourselves. And they didn't kill us. And then they stepped in.
So the mayor was supporting you when you came back.
Right.
That's good.
They walked behind us. But me and Georgia Clark and Reverend Whitaker and Crump led the march down the highway. And us got on this side of that road, and just let the other folk go on the other side. And us was singing that's as loud as we could sing. We'll overcome one day.
Now also, I know that you were working with the NAACP,
yeah,
right?
NAACP, and that's a powerful car. That's powerful. I'm talking about a powerful fella.
Okay.
They'll hang that other fella. If you stand up on your foot, they'll hang him. That's right. And they ain't all black neither.
Right.
Sure ain't.
Right. So
some white people don't believe in mistreating Negroes. No, they don't.
So there were white people who were involved with the NAACP also?
And they the ones stood up on their feet and told us what to do and how to do it. So let's get out there in the middle of the road so the highway is free for everybody. Let's get out there in the highway and do it.
Now you won an award from the NAACP.
I know I did.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I got one.
You got.
Georgia Clark got one too.
She got one too.
The white folks get it to us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And also, I know you were fighting for civil rights, things like that. You were doing other things too. You were working with the youth in the Head Start program.
I will. I walk with the Head Start.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. With the little children, and what they did then, they put black kids and white kids in the same thing. The white at first had their children going here, and us children here. But when they got in it deep, all of them got together, and them kids, us white kids and black children, at our mamas and daddy's house, played together. And when Mom gets food ready, she said, "Y'all children, come on eat." All of us went in there and sat down in there.
Okay. All right.
It wasn't no different.
Okay.
And so that tore it up.
Okay. So now, while you would, so obviously you loved working with children.
I
right?
do.
You did.
I
you
love
loved it.
kids. I love them.
It's part of taking care of people. That's something you enjoy doing, right?
I do. I like that.
Okay. All right. And you were recognized for
And
that.
white and black.
Uh-huh.
I work for white and black.
Because when you were going to school and coming up in Mississippi, you were able to teach white kids.
Yeah.
You were able to teach them.
Yeah, they give us the little bit of kids. No.
Well, what about the time that the KKK or the Ku Klux Klan came to your house? How did you and your husband deal with that?
My husband got out of the way, but I dealt with them.
You dealt with them?
Yes, I did.
What did you do? They come to your house.
Yeah.
They're on the horses, and did they have their robes and their?
That's right. They had all that old stuff on.
They had all that stuff on.
Yeah.
Okay, the hate attire.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you one thing, they couldn't scare me.
Did they say anything to you while they were on their horses around your house? Did they say anything to you?
Not a word. And I sat there on the porch and didn't say nothing to them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Did they burn a cross in your yard or anything like that?
Yes, sir. They went out there and burned up a cross in there.
They did? Okay.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even move.
You did move?
They was acting a fool.
Were they?
And I didn't move.
Can you describe their behavior, their action when they came up? Did they just sit there and look at you and stare at you, or did they?
They just hit the ground, and when they hit the ground, then that's when they went to doing that. Scared to think somebody gonna run from their own house, but I didn't.
You didn't run?
No.
Okay.
But I had something right there.
Oh, you had your gun right there, huh?
And I bet I had many shells that they had.
You just
That's right.
So
I ain't telling no story on that.
You was ready.
And they got scared. I know they must have seen them or something. But anyway, they got scared and left.
So why do you think they came to your house? Why do you think the Ku Klux Klan came to your house?
They didn't want no Negro to have no freedom.
Okay. Let's talk about you coming to Waterloo now. Let's talk about you. Your husband would die.
Yeah.
And shortly after your husband's death,
I come on here to Waterloo.
you would move to Waterloo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I just ain't never went back home.
Okay. Why? Why would you come to Waterloo? What brought you to Waterloo?
All my folks up there.
Okay.
My relatives is in Waterloo.
You would continue to do some volunteer work, right?
Yeah, I left to do work like that.
Because you were working with the senior citizens. You were coming in. Because you come to Waterloo in 1986.
Now I can't say that because I can't remember it now.
Okay, that's when. Okay, you came in the 80s, but you would. What were some of the things you remember doing when you first came to Waterloo?
Took care of the old people. I love to help sick folks.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Cause one day I'm gonna be sick, and I want somebody to help me.
Right. Absolutely. Now you just recently had your birthday.
Yeah, I done made the 100, and in my daddy's days, his aunts, some of them lived to be 105.
So it kind of runs in the family, the long lifespan.
Yeah.
Huh? That's good.
Yeah.
So you're 100.
Yeah.
So you're going to live to be 110 then, right?
I don't know. I don't know, but I ain't made that yet. I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever the law do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you're a member of Payne AME Church.
AME Church.
Right here in
That's
Waterloo.
right.
Long time. You're the oldest member, living member at this time.
I'm the oldest one of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you, now it's my understanding, that's where you had your 100th birthday party at. Is
That's
that
right. Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of fun.
It's church.
What's it like being 100? How do you feel today?
I feel that like I did when I was 12. I reckon.
Do you?
I don't
Okay.
know. It don't nothing hurt me.
Okay. All
I
right.
don't hurt nowhere. Nowhere.
So what would you say to young people coming up now if they want to live to be 100? How should they take care of
You
themselves?
can't tell them nothing.
You can't tell them nothing?
No.
Well, thank you very much for making the time, for coming all the way out here
Well, I
and
don't
sit down
mind.
and sharing your story with me. I
I don't
appreciate
mind.
it.
You don't mind telling the truth nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Just since you ain't up there lying. And that's something I ain't gonna do.
Okay.
Whatever they done, I'll tell it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you.
All
It was
right.
nice meeting you. It was nice
All
talking to you. Thank you very much.
All right. Yes, sir. Sure is.